Hello ladies and gentlemen, Safehouse here, and today I'm going to be doing a re-review of ArcheAge. I did one when I was about level 25, or maybe even high 20s, and you know, I hadn't experienced the PvP, I hadn't been in the game too long, it was more just the first impressions rather than a real review. But now I have hit level 50 and I've been level 50 for quite a while. I've experienced just about everything the game has to offer. Obviously there are still more goals and stuff to do, but I have obviously experienced quite a bit. In the background it's just going to be me stalking some prey and just playing silly buggers with a couple of the guys over on the eastern faction. But you'll see me kill a couple of them and they'll kill me and that kind of stuff too. So you'll get to see a bit of PvP and stuff in the background. But anyways, I'm going to start by saying that the game is still very, very enjoyable. I log in every day still. I really enjoy it. There's just so much to do, especially if you've got a guild or you're playing with friends and that kind of stuff. There's just so much stuff you can do together, especially grouping and that kind of stuff, doing trade runs. It's really profitable. It's going to be the best way to make money. So if you've got friends and that kind of stuff in, it's obviously going to make you stay around longer and makes the game a lot more enjoyable because it really does feel alive. The world feels alive, and it's just because there's players everywhere. And I know that the alpha server is a bit more full than what the other servers are going to be, but the game really just does, it feels alive because there's so many people around, things are changing all the time, that you bump into people everywhere. When you're out in the ocean you'll see pirates, you'll have people trying to fight you wherever you go, and it just makes things a lot more interesting and it always keeps you on your toes. So I didn't get to talk about PvP in the last one, I haven't experienced much, but the PvP is pretty good. Class balance is decent, you know, some one-on-ones and that kind of stuff. You're just going to get wrecked by certain classes, but you can always continue to gear up, which you can do through dungeons or crafting. You know, there's a lot of different ways to keep progressing, and you can also change a class really easily, so that's one of the big pluses. There's no need to re-roll, you can just go to a vendor and for pretty cheap actually, you can change one of your classes around, because you obviously get to choose 3 classes out of the 10, so there's over 100 combinations that you can pick from, so you know, there's a lot of options there. And I will be making videos on some of the stronger builds and some of the ones I like and think you guys might want to have a look at. But I will say about the PvP zones, once you hit level 30, you're going to have to start leveling in PvP zones, and you get a lot of the enemy faction, that stuff killing you. You get your own faction killing you because they want to become pirates or they just don't like you, you know. But yeah, you will get ganked, you will die, all that kind of stuff. The death penalty from getting ganked from a player is not very big at all. Obviously from getting killed from mobs and stuff, it actually is a little bit more harsh, but make sure that you do pray at the altar after you die. That's one thing I didn't learn straight away, but if you pray at the altar you get most of the XP that you lose when you die back. And eventually once you hit level 40, you're going to have to go to the other faction, you're going to have to quest and level up there as well, and you will die a lot. So that brings me to stealth. Stealth is a really, really important thing in ArcheAge, and there's only one class, which is called Shadowplay, that you get stealth from at level 25. I don't like to force people into doing something or say that you have to do this, but you really need stealth. It just comes in handy in every aspect of the game. Escaping PvP, because as the PvP zones are just everywhere in ArcheAge. So escaping PvP, you've got a trade pack on your back, you're trying to hand it in, just stealth in, no one can see you. There is a detection radius, but it isn't very big, and if you're careful you won't get caught, as you've probably seen me using around in the video in the background. So I suggest grabbing Shadowplay level 1. You might not use it early on, but once you level up a bit more, you are going to be using it a lot. If you decide that you don't want it, you can switch it out a bit later, but I definitely recommend just grabbing it level 1 because it just is invaluable in this game. Kind of annoys me a little bit that I feel that I have to take it, but I might make a video talking a bit more about stealth and maybe some of the things that I think they could do to make it better. But the leveling is quick at the start, does slow down towards the end. The quest felt a little bit grindy towards the end, but I was rushing and playing quite a lot, so I sort of slowed down and just went and did other things. So that's the best thing about ArcheAge, you don't have to quest grind. I know once I hit level 50 I haven't done another quest since. I've just been going around using up my labour points, mainly fishing actually. I'll probably be making a video on fishing as well because it is really fun, but it can be quite confusing as well. Also on the alpha server there's been some housing issues because, well, the server's packed. Apparently there's 3 times as many people as there will be on the normal servers, so there's no housing anywhere. Once the game goes live though, I expect there'll be plenty of housing for everyone. Obviously some of the better spots you're going to have to be pretty quick to secure those, but that's the way I really think it should be. Another really good thing about the game is once you hit level 50 you still feel like you have goals and stuff to achieve. I know when I hit level 50 in Elder Scrolls Online, I felt like I had nothing else to achieve. Sure, you could get up veteran ranks and that kind of stuff, but it was just more quest grinding and I just didn't enjoy it. With ArcheAge, there's always stuff you can work towards, whether it's a fishing boat, you're trying to get a submarine like I am at the moment. Hopefully I'll have that within the next week or so, so I'll be able to show you that as well. You're working towards making a car for yourself, getting the top glider. I don't know, there's always things to be working towards. Also, the combat's still fun. It doesn't really seem to get too stale, I guess because you're not doing it so much. Like now I've hit level level 50 unless I go out PvPing with my guildies and that kind of stuff. Then I don't really do much combat. I'm too busy doing other stuff and whatever, so it doesn't get stale because you're not doing it a whole lot. I haven't got to experience level 50 dungeons yet. We've been really busy. Once we get a group together, we usually go on a trade run or go PvP. We haven't really got around to doing the dungeon, that kind of stuff yet, but I will be making videos on those once I do get into them. And I will say the AH works really well, which is just lovely. I don't know, I like having an AH in a game. It really adds to it, and they're only taking 10%, which is nice. You know, once you start getting over 10%, there really becomes a disincentive to use the AH, and yeah, it just really becomes annoying. They don't have a dungeon finder though, which can be a little bit annoying, but the game is about not being able to teleport places too easily. There are hereafter stones, they're not super expensive, that will allow you to teleport to places that you've already been, but having something like a dungeon finder that would teleport you to a dungeon doesn't really work, doesn't suit the style of the game. But it would still be nice to have something, even if it was out the front of the dungeon, that you could use and you could get a group together that way. It's just really a lot of the reason that I haven't experienced much of the dungeons and that kind of stuff yet. It's just because it is pretty hard to get a group together and find the exact roles you need at the exact levels. So some form of dungeon finder I think would improve the game, but I know there's people that don't like dungeon finders and that kind of thing, but I do think it would be better. But that covers most of what I've got to say about ArcheAge today, guys. There really is just so much to do. I know if you check out my channel, you'll get a taste of all the stuff you can do. There's still plenty more videos to come, so keep an eye on that. But thanks heaps for watching, and if you have any questions, don't hesitate to throw them down in the comments section, and I will get back to you ASAP, and I hope to catch you in the next vid. Thank you very much for watching, and if this video helped you out or you just enjoyed it, please smack that like button, or you can also subscribe to my channel for more videos similar to this one. Thanks guys.